Welcome back to Streets of Rage 4, and now we're in the Y Island.
Where are the M, C, and A islands?
So, Pedro.
I get it.
So, Pedro, why are we here?
Well,
Just to suffer.
we're chasing the White Twins because they ran away.
Also, I see what you did, Pedro. 4 parts. Clever.
Actually, I totally didn't do that on purpose, I can tell you that.
Yeah, I figured. He's not that clever.
That's what I discovered.
Anyway.
You're not the Mora.
Alright, let's continue then. And look at that, the crashed plane.
Oh god, I hate these enemies because they always have that stupid knife sticking out. It's like, ugh.
Did they give you Batman Arkham City flashbacks?
No, they were a thing since the first game, Joe.
Yeah.
I know. It's just like, well, one of the most hated mooks in the Batman Arkham series are the knife-wielding lunatics.
Honestly, Java, I don't know about that because the one that I heard instead were more hated are the shock baton ones.
Oh, trust me. Those are hated too, but people also hate the knife ones when they interfere with the counter mechanics.
I thought people hate the ninja mooks from Arkham Origins.
I guess.
Well,
I guess, but at that point it's kind of similar to the knife move that Java mentioned, just in a different way.
Alright.
Here comes the annoying part.
Right.
Oh, we found candy.
Candy.
Ooh, a piece of candy.
Candy and caramel.
Don't eat candy off the floor.
And
5-second rule.
I love how Adam has
No, Deji, it's a millisecond rule. As soon as it touches the ground, don't eat it. Period.
That almost killed Bill Murray in Osmosis Jones. Remember that?
Yeah.
Yeah, but here's the thing. Bill Murray's a glutinous fuck in that movie.
alright,
Yeah.
let's see, go in.
Oh, I thought you were talking about
that was
Murray.
the least
Oh, Boss Rush?
Wow, ominous Froggy Bridge.
Oh
Can't be
my
good.
god,
And there's
it's
New
Mr.
York
Big
City
from
in
King
the
of Fighters. I mean, Art of Fighting. Actually, the Streets of Rage characters would be perfect in a fighting game.
Well, that's what I keep saying, that Sega should make a fighting game crossover and, keep... because we have a plethora of IPs that fit well that...
Probably licensed that. They'll probably have that be
Or at
licensed.
the very least have a guest character for Virtua Fighter, but first we have to remember they're Virtua Fighter. So
Also-
Fun fact, you mentioned that.
I know about the supposed trademark in like.
I'm not talking about trademark. A rating earlier this week.
Yeah, no, I know about that, but that can mean literally nothing as usual because sometimes things get rated and trademarked, but they sometimes never happen.
Ratings are the ones that mean something. Trademarks are the ones that don't.
And even so, as much as that at least getting something would make me happy, it would be just another release of Virtua Fighter 5, which is super old at this point. At this point, they might as well just have Virtua Fighter 6.
Dude, that game came out like what, 2008?
It's a PS3 and early PS3 and Xbox 360 game.
Also, keep your eyes peeled at the stained glass. You'll notice some Streets of Rage free flashbacks.
Well, Mr. X here, it's a classic pose from the first game, so...
But Tio, I say that it's a Streets of Raging because to the right and left are stained glass versions of Robo X.
Oh, okay.
Yep.
Which, this is sort of like how Streets of Rage freezes final boss encounter.
So basically, the architect of this place was feeling very nostalgic.
It's a 2006 game.
I mean, it's the White Twins. They probably make this a gigantic altar for their father, in a way.
Makes you wonder.
And also, the composers are going apeshit for this level.
Yes. There you go. Now let's fight the Shadow.
Snake Eyes?
Maybe.
No, the ultimate life form. Gotta keep it in the Sega brand.
Okay, if we want to be Sega in that kind of sense, the edge is probably maybe like Shadow Dancer from Shinobi.
So now we have...
So
now we're gonna fight Heart.
Also, Dej, by that logic, that means that the ultimate life form also faces off against Ooh La La in dance competitions.
Big Ben, Heart, and Gorman.
Have you not seen the Shadow the Hedgehog commercial? I think he does.
Yes, I have seen that one,
that's the interesting thing. The original reveal trailer that shows Sonic and then suddenly Shadow shoots the screen with a gun, shit like that. Everybody back in the day thought it was an April Fool's joke because it actually came out around that time.
Oof.
God. That would have been a perfect April Fool's joke.
It would have, wouldn't it? Like, I'm not even kidding. If I was someone at Sega, like my idea would be after witnessing the reception to that reveal trailer, I'll be like, I would immediately go to the press and go, yeah, that was totally an April Fool's joke. You didn't really think that was real, did you?
Nervous laughter.
I'll admit, I still do have a soft spot for that game.
Honestly, to me, Jove, it's one of those things where even if you're a fan of the character he was in Adventure 2, all the more reason to not like it because it so contradicts everything that he was in the first game by a lot of terrible decisions of the various paths.
Not really.
I'd argue Heroes did that.
Well, Heroes as well, yeah.
Well, okay, guys, let's not forget the fact that he has amnesia, so it makes sense he's somewhat different, but honestly, Shadow the Hedgehog feels like it's finally...
that route.
Highly Shadow enemy.
Well,
there seems to be a theory going around that Heroes was originally supposed to be something of a proper... Oh, hey, like father, like daughter.
Yay!
Even sits in the same pose as Daddy.
So do you think that they have two... they're just two halves of their father?
Well, like I said, yeah, their personalities, like she has a psychopathic side of him, and whereas Mr. Y is the cold, calculating side of Mr.
Also,
X.
lady, not for nothing, but I don't think that's the correct way to use a rapier, especially stance.
Hey, whatever works.
Improvising.
Mm-hmm.
Watch out also, because she can do a few tricks that normally other characters can do, like vaulting over you and countering.
Look, T.O.D. I don't think the way these characters fight, I don't think that's as realistic fighting at all.
What you're talking about, Dej? I can't believe someone can German suplex, people 10 times their size.
I mean,
no.
maybe in Boston, yeah.
Okay. Believe it or not, it is actually physically possible to do that in real life. However, it requires the trick of using your enemy's weight against them.
But no, that's the thing. Go ahead.
Yeah?
But no, that's the thing, Joe. Here are my two primary issues. One, there's an ending in Shadow the Hedgehog where Shadow literally turns against Sonic so he can become the ultimate Hedgehog, even though by this point he should be over that. And I also hate how they try to. Well, okay, fine. You can use the last story then. I also hate how they try to now suddenly portray Gerald as a complete saint who was always good all along.
I don't think they were portraying him as a saint.
Really.
It's more like they revealed, it was the government that screwed him over and he went insane when he was trying to warn him the whole time.
Well,
pretty much.
That doesn't excuse it, though. But
Well,
it's not. It's just like...
No, it's not excusing it, honestly. If anything, when they say they want to honor the memory...
both of them at the same time, of course.
Yep.
I don't know. I don't know. I agree with Johnny. Like, he still tried to destroy the Earth, therefore he should not be honored in any way, shape, or form.
I mean, Eggman has tried to destroy the Earth multiple times, and then look at he's not in jail.
Okay.
Yeah, and he should, though. But go ahead.
Okay, let me put it like this. I think it's more so in a sense where the government are saying that they should honor the memory of Gerald, before he went crazy and whatnot.
Because it's their fault.
Yeah, acknowledging the mistakes of the past, but moving forward with it. And it's not like they say that they're going to completely excuse all of his crimes or anything. It's an acknowledging of the people at fault, realizing that, hey, none of this was Shadow's fault, really. And, giving the guy a goddamn break. And, like I've said, one of the few things I do like about 06 is that it does show that they are all moving ahead with that. What?
Okay.
Also,
I think that's biggest... right. Watch this. So when you defeat one Y twin more than the other, they reveal the Y mech.
Yes.
Complete with a throne. It's a mobile throne.
This again. This game. The developers of this game went. It's like they literally treated this as if it's the last Streets of Rage game and just went all out.
Also, I hate to tell you, White Twins, but this is supposed to be Streets of Rage, not Sonic the Hedgehog. You stole some, Robotnik's mecha.
True, but
Sega.
But remember too, like science has always been a thing in the X and Y family.
True. The entire plot of 3 is pure science fiction.
Okay, Tio. Going off of the events of Worlds United, we can just say that Eggman loaned them one of his.
Oh, and she just steals his place. What an adorable twin.
That's
he fell off.
He fell off because I defeated him too.
And again, I love how she always does the pose just like Daddy Dearest. Of course, that won't save her.
There we go.
Don't worry, they're okay.
We're gonna be fine.
We're still the good guys. We don't murder needlessly.
No. We actually do see them get arrested and everything, so.
Geese Howard could survive worse.
Alright, and now we have a credits roll in the vein of Streets of Rage 3.
I'll admit, it's kind of weird that we didn't get an ending cutscene before the credits, but...
Well, remember, Joe, like I said, they're doing the Streets of Rage 3 way, where it's doing the credits, we see these drawings,
what happens.
Yeah.
They want people to look at the credits, dang it.
Clever way to. Now you can acknowledge all the people who helped
So the
out.
day was saved, thanks to...
Axel, Adam, Blaze,
and
Floyd,
gang.
and Cherry. Yeah.
The rages of the streets. So that's...
There you go, Yuzo Koshiro, Motohiro Kawashima, Rumi
There's
Fujita,
Adam
Shimomura, and
basically
Keiji
taking the two away.
Yamaguchi.
And there you go. The
So-
White Twins are going to jail, and Adam will take him in.
Which means Mr. X's lineage is finally down for the count.
Hopefully.
Unless we escape, which we probably will.
Or they have more kids. Or Mr. X's wife is still out there.
Oh, let's see
Look at who did each and every track.
Okay. Oh, it's pretty neat actually that they list each track that is being composed. Usually, when it comes to the credits, it's usually reserved for like licensed tracks.
Of course, Yoko Shimomura composed the Shiva track.
And of course, Axel, as always, stands there cool looking at the sunset. Or something along those, or maybe the sea. One of those.
So, Axel, what do we do now?
Well, now we wait for either a 5th game or we just retire altogether.
Wouldn't it be nice to finally be able to
Or seek
relax?
another city that requires some beating up. I heard with Kamurocho is some cleanup in the streets, but just a passing thought.
Well,
There you go. Oh, this is Joe Blanco, Itomi Farrell, Queen Bruce. I don't recognize any of these voice actors.
and Blaze
Probably
apparently becomes a dancer, I think.
Sure.
You know, you gotta love the irony that honestly...
No. She goes to Axel's.
One writer,
voice.
Benficat, with
Wait,
some
wait,
additional
wait.
story writing.
Is she going to be a star on Baywatch?
Well, if she keeps going like that, maybe she will be hired for Ulala's space station, the one that accompanies, the tourists.
And Cherry goes on to pursue her career as a musician. So.
It's funny.
Why does Sonic boom bandages for?
She got beat up, so she's healing.
It's a Western character design thing too, apparently.
Needs more shoulder pads.
This is in the 80s.
The shoulder pads were very prominent in the 90s. I can assure you that. The leaves.
And
Adam got a medal.
Well, they really weren't.
Wait, hold on. John Marston was in charge of the English translation of this game?
Lady, I'm married.
do you know him?
Yeah, he's the protagonist from
Red Dead Redemption. Whatever.
Interesting.
But yeah, Adam finally got an award for all of his feats. About time.
Also, Joe Vidal managed to survive all those years to localize a video game.
Of
How old
course.
is he now?
Well,
Oh, and look at that! Zen!
There's Dr. Zen.
And he's fixing Floyd's arms.
Well, Dwibs, if that zombie
Thank you,
is
Doc.
anything to go by, he probably
Teo.
came back from the dead.
Yeah.
Thank you, Doctor. I'm nothing without my metal arms.
So yeah, nice to see that Dr. Zen is still alive and kicking.
So yeah,
despite his age.
if this is the final game in the series, I think it's a great send off. I'm okay with that. Definitely a much better finale than 3. So.
But
I mean,
they
it
made,
wasn't
but
bad
this game
was
made
the
money,
game.
sir, and got positive reviews. So I was like, all right, let's make more.
Well, fine by me.
Now
I mean,
we overlook the city.
Like I said, I think this formula can be easily tweaked to be adapted to Infinity and Beyond. We just really need to modify a few things. And it's
Do you want it to be like
there.
River City Ransom?
I guess, in a
well,
way,
we all did it together.
because we're Streets of Rage heroes. Also, Axel, change your pants.
And there you go.
And that's the end. Or is it?
Not quite. I didn't quite get to the unlocking thing. Oh, I did. Never
Actually,
mind.
yes, classic Adam.
Classic Adam.
You got Saw 1, Adam.
Sorry, Adam.
All right. So now that we're done with the game itself, let's take a look at the extra stuff. First, I'm actually gonna check a bit of the options there. Retro soundtrack.
Neat.
Yep.
All right. Loading. There you go. All right.
Okay.
Let's take a look at the gallery. So Axel, after the fall of Mr. X, Axel retired from the police force and moved out of the city. Desperate to find true strength beyond his fists, he went to live in the wilderness. He spent his days training, meditating, and studying. However, despite his love for this simpler life, a call from Blaze was all it took for him to return to the city once more.
Of course, he went off to be.
And there you go, all
Jack-
4 Axels right there.
Yep.
And I'm
He
glad,
really loved himself, too.
and I'm glad .mu put in Japanese Axel from 3, not US one. Blaze was dishonorably charged from the police force when she refused to take anger management classes after punching the commissioner in the face over an ethical disagreement. These days she works as a dance instructor, there you go, and choreographer for local musicals. She still has a bad habit of getting into street brawls with her ear over to the ground. She picked up rumblings of a new crime syndicate and immediately started calling in old favors.
Remind me, with the spikes,
Cherry.
do they use the censored ones or the regular ones?
The uncensored
Regular.
one, the regular ones. Being the daughter of Adam Hunter, the most decorated cop the force has ever known, it isn't easy. It comes with a lot of baggage and a lot of frustrations. While Cherry inherited his brawling talents, she didn't inherit his desire for law and order. Choosing to devote her life to music, she spends most of her nights playing electro-progressive rock. As for Floyd, has always worked hard for the local community until a horrible work accident left him harmless. The management and the construction decided to invest in lawyers rather than helping him with the massive medical bills. In the end, help came from Dr. Zen, with whom Floyd spent years learning how to build, and his new cybernetic arms which Zen had developed. When Blaze called on Dr. Zen for help, Floyd was the one who answered. So there you go.
Might as well.
Zen is now retired, and Floyd will be the scientific guy. After the events of 10 years ago, Adam just wanted to take care of his daughter Cherry, but he was called on to join the special forces and infiltrate this new organization gaining control of the city. Having been in the shadows for too long, he finally decided to finish the fight he started.
So that's
Shiva.
why he was away all that time.
After the fall of Mr. X, Shiva was enlightened and started a dojo to make use of his talent and promote Buddhist teachings. Unfortunately, many of his disciples left to return to the new Crim Syndicate. When finally made up his mind, however, were the reports of animal cruelty at Y's secret labs. Now he's just waiting for the moment to strike, and when he does, he'll strike hard.
That's right, Shiva was always on our side during this game, actually.
He just wanted to test you, I guess. Oh,
Skate
there's-
Hunter. Skate is a typical teenager. He keeps up the latest styles and is slightly rebellious. He looks up to his big brother Adam, who is also his mentor and helps him train in martial arts. As you can see, you can basically unlock all the characters from the series,
This
basically.
family can beat everyone's at what?
Max Thunder kicked out by the Pro Wrestling Association because he refused to throw a fight. He joined Axel and Blaze to get rid of the syndicate and also show his friends what a real German suplex is.
So basically, say why? Who did he refuse to job to? Roman Reigns.
Dr. Gilbert Zan is a scientist, former syndicate member, and the one who discovered the element Rakushin. It's actually free if you don't know what that is. After the syndicate betrayed him, he was forced to become a cyborg, and he contracted Blaze Fielding to get payback. Now he helps people in tries to undo what he did while in the syndicate's employ. In particular, he built Floyd's arms.
Yeah, believe it or not, you can play as all these people as well if you unlock them.
To unlock them, yeah. Alright, so let's check out the concept art.
Adam.
So there you go.
I really like what they did with the art style in general. Even with the color balancing, it's really they really knew what to do to make it appeasing.
Again, like I say, it looks like an old anime before the whole otaku stuff took over. Basically.
To be
What?
fair,
Excuse me?
Otaku's always been a thing.
Exactly.
also to be fair, they didn't spare expense when it came to Blaze, which I'm eternally grateful for.
Fine, most stuff
Good
if
on
you
them for
prefer.
that.
Floyd Uriah, that's his name.
It's always been around. You're just...
So
You're
Flame
getting
was
old,
supposed to look
man.
different originally. Interesting.
Let's see the enemies.
Hugo, what are you doing here?
There's Bear.
Well,
Oh my god, Soda Popofsky from
Popinski.
Punch-Out.
Electra, Victoria. There you go.
again, it's also neat the fact that while they reintroduced most of the old enemies, they still introduce a couple of new ones to go.
Also, yeah.
My
the
favorite,
commissioner,
my favorite of the new enemies is Dylan, just because I absolutely love that touch of him never taking his hands from his pockets.
So,
Diamond.
which was your favorite of the returning foes, Pedro?
Alright, the returning foes. I guess Shiva. Why not?
Yeah.
Although the one that although in terms of the enemy and the enemies in general, the one that steals the show from me is Miss Y.
Oh, yeah. Because of her insane demeanor.
Yep.
Also, wait to let us see that artwork by zooming through it.
There you go. Here's the actual promotional artwork. There you go.
Ah,
Oh,
yes,
Floyd.
where they slowly but surely revealed each character who was going to be in there with silhouettes.
All right. So we also have boss rush, arcade mode. If you want, so basically, the arcade mode you only get 1 credit to finish the whole story in one go, and you can't save. So basically, we can do this old school style if you want. We also have the boss rush, which is exactly what it means. We have battle, and we have online multiplayer. Unlike the next beat 'em up we're gonna play after this, but we'll get to that. We also have a stage. We also have a stage select. However, you can only select stages that you've completed in specific difficulties. Meaning, since I played this game on easy, I can only select the stages in easy. There you go. You can even go back. So basically, you can replay all the stuff to get better rankings if you want. So there you go. I also love how they have the original artwork from the original games when you pick the old sprites.
Yeah, we already went through this.
Beautiful retro music.
Alright, let's see. Classic Adam in action then. Yay, there's Go Straight.
Oh, yeah. So yeah, Tio, you were asking if there was Go Straight. Yeah, that's the thing. This does show up in the first stage as well, but remixed.
I just didn't hear it enough. I'm gonna check in on my own anyway.
The retro soundtrack, basically any track that was remixed for this game now is you play the original. As for new tracks, the new tracks are replaced with miscellaneous tracks from the previous 3 games, basically.
It's really neat how we managed to make sure that the pixelated kind of sprite managed to have a decent hit detection, in regards to instead the new polished ones, the actual hand-drawn ones.
Mm-hmm. And don't worry, for all of you folk out there who like to compile cutscenes, don't worry, each time you just select the stage, the cutscene that played beforehand plays before each one.
And the cutscenes are not changed by which characters. Like even if you pick characters like Skate and Zan, the cutscenes will still play exactly the same, regardless of which characters you're playing as. So it doesn't matter. The new characters are just cosmetics, really. Like they don't change how the story plays or anything like that. So,
Obviously.
I mean, I overall prefer to play with the new looks anyway. So. There you go. Just because I love how the sprites look in this game.
It's
All
good
right.
that there's something for everyone.
Pretty much, yeah. Like, it doesn't matter if which game is your favorite. Like, this game pretty much caters to everything, Streets of Rage-wise. Like, you can literally pick... yes, pretty much all the playable characters from the previous game, except maybe the kangaroo from 3, but... I wasn't particularly a big fan of him either anyway.
I mean, if that's what it needs to be taken for having me for having proper playable Shiva from the not from the get-go, but in a much more decent way, I'm perfectly fine with that.
Anyway, that
I
was.
forgot you were such a Savannah Shiva.
Can I go first for final thoughts?
Go ahead.
I mean, it's like the other games. While there's still something that I would go out of my way to play, it certainly looks like a lot of fun. And it also really looks like they put in a lot of effort to try and their best to emulate the earlier games while also putting their own spin on things, mainly with the art style.
Mm-hmm.
And it's also really nice to see that that Sega's strategy of licensing out stuff that they don't think will make that much money. It means all for them, so they just license it out to other groups. Seems to be working pretty well. We've got this, and we're getting Alex Kidd soon.
Mm-hmm.
So at least we wonder what's going to happen next. Are they going to license out a Virtua Fighter or something?
We'll have to wait and see, I guess.
How about
Maybe Vector Man.
Knights
Or
into Dreams.
Shinobi?
What about
Go
Billy
on.
Hatcher?
What about Billy Hatcher?
Yeah, what about
You already got it. It's called Battle in Wonderworld.
No, we're not doing this. Go on, please.
I wonder if that's what will happen. Remember when Mighty Number 9 was received so badly that Capcom
Jesus
just made
Christ,
Mega Man
what the-
11?
Come on, let's. Come on,
Or
let's.
Sega do the same with Billy Hatcher?
No.
Or Knights. But anyway, overall it looks pretty fun. Not something I got my way to play, but still pretty fun.
All right. For me, it's like now this it's the sequel that I could have ever possibly wanted. Like it does exactly what I would have done if I were to make a Streets of Rage 4. It takes full advantage of the fact that it's a side scroller to do what side scrollers do better than 3D games, which is hand drawn sprites that are ageless and will never and are so widely appealing. So. And I love the new music. I love the new stages. I love the new characters. It's all done so lovingly and so well crafted by people who have as much love for the series as any other fan has. So everything works out just beautifully. I don't really have a single issue with this game at all. This game is a wonderful love letter to Streets of Rage fans. It's a fantastic beat 'em up on its own merits, regardless of your history with the franchise. You can just come in and enjoy it perfectly on its own merits without any need to know what happened before. And it's an absolute triumph of the genre and the best game in the series so far. So there you go, too.
Sure. I kind of agree that it's probably most likely the best of the series. It's basically the dream that everybody wanted to happen but didn't expect it to actually happen, especially because again, as we mentioned, Streets of Rage 4, several different types of Streets of Rage 4 had been considered, discussed, and sometimes even developed before each time Sega shut the project down for one reason or another. Studio defunct, too much cost, other different reasons. But this time, not only it actually succeeded to be released, but it actually doesn't suck. That's pretty neat, actually. And honestly, both of the bringing back the old stuff and even the new characters like the White Wings, but also Estelle, fit very well with it. I'm not saying that this should mark necessarily just the end of the franchise. If anything, I could see this as a new reborn. And again, just stick with it. But I'm also equally fine if the studio decides to apply this kind of formula to other Sega franchises that are in desperate need to be revitalized for this, like, say, Golden Axe.
Golden Axe 4, now.
So I'm perfectly fine with whatever they want to do. I'll still get the game for myself eventually. Probably the PS4 or PC. I will see in time. But yeah, definitely the best in the series. Next.
I'll go next. Yeah, this is a very good sequel, and if need be, a possible send-off to the series. I mean, there's nothing to suggest that it has to be the end, but man, it is such a very, very good note to go off of. It pays very good homage to the series without needing to, dry hump nostalgia either. Like, in the sense, like, it does enough new stuff to the point where it does feel like it has its own identity here and there. It's got a well enough fleshed out story here and there with the characters you knew and love, and the good return of Adam, and technically the return of some old characters while getting to play as some for the first time, like Shiva. Much to Teos' delight, I see.
Well, technically Shiva was an unlockable character in 3, but I get your point.
Yeah. But yeah, it's also nice to see where characters have come and gone here and there to this point. And it's like I said, it's done in a way that is not really guilty of continuity lockout. So even if you haven't played any of the previous 3 games, you can still have just as good a time. Heck, if anything, this could be your introduction to the series, arguably. Not a small feat. Well done. Well done.
Edgy.
So, Streets of Rage 2 was a game that I played with my cousin back in the early 2000s. So I have a soft spot for this franchise because of it. When 4 came out, few months ago, my brother and his 2 nieces, we were all playing together, and I beat the game in one sit and had a lot of fun. So I'm really grateful this game came out, and it's great to see new life into an old dormant franchise, and I hope it's not a one-time thing.
All right. So that was Streets of Rage 4, everybody. We have one more beat 'em up in Tau, but I will keep you guys in suspense of what that other scrolling beat 'em up we have in Tau is. Why not?
Is it Turtles in Time?
Well, we already did Turtles in Time, Dej.
Do it again.
Why?
How about this, Dej? I'll do Shredder's Revenge when it comes out.
Sure.
That's gonna be the third one that we never got anyway. So, all right. See ya then.
See ya.
See ya.